Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. We have a great show for you today. Today, we're going to talk about James Outman. Is he the future of center field for the Dodgers? But before we get into that too much, just a reminder, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. That really helps Dodgers Daily. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily and share this video so we can keep growing and keep providing you content like this in the future, okay? Is James Outman the future of center field for the Dodgers? Of course, we all know that just last week, the organization did not tender Cody Bellinger a contract for 2023. So that means unless they re-sign him for a smaller figure, which Scott Boras being his agent doesn't seem likely, it looks like the club is going to have to move on from Cody Bellinger. So what is the future? Who is the future in center field? We've already talked about in a past podcast all the different options in the organization. Today is dedicated to James Outman, and it makes his case. Outman hit .294 in 2022. His OPS was .978. He knocked in 106 RBIs, and he also had 31 home runs, which he didn't have enough at-bats in AAA to qualify, but if he did, those would all be top 10 numbers, and some of them would be top 5. So simply put, he was one of the best offensive players in all of minor league baseball. When you combine that with the great defense that he plays, and we're going to go over some of the defense and show you why he is so good. When you combine all that together, he quite possibly was the best minor league baseball player in all of the minor leagues last year in 2022. So let's get to some of the things that he does very well. The first thing I want to show you is how James Outman goes back on the ball. That's Jaron Kendall in right field, but just look at him go back here. He feels the warning track. He goes into his slide. He's able to make that look easy, get up, and make the throw. Here's another one that he goes back to his left. He has to kind of reach back over his head and make that play there, but makes it look very easy. And James Outman was a linebacker at Sarah High School in California, and you can kind of see that linebacker in him whenever he's playing outfield. He's very aggressive. You saw him against that wall, not scared of the wall. The next video that I'm going to show you here, just look, I mentioned that he's not scared of the wall, so watch this. James Outman goes back again. He feels the warning track, but this time he looks down, he flips over the wall. How about that? Not scared at all. Did he catch it? Well, I'm going to leave that one a cliffhanger for you. The great Dennis Higgins was on that call. If you go to my social medias, you can hear all the audios. You can see it. You can see if you actually caught the ball or not, but I'm going to leave that cliffhanger just hanging along. So let's move to the next aspect of his game, and let's look at James Outman coming in on the ball. And this first video here, we're going to show you a fly ball to left field that he comes in. What he's so good at is timing when to slide, and he just knows when to do it. Here's another one that he tracks down, and off the bat, man, that doesn't look like he has a chance to catch at all, and he comes in, slides and dives, catches this. This was in the Arizona Fall League about a year ago right now, where he slid and made a great catch, and boy, you can see the hitter just can't even believe what happened. Outman very excited about that, but two great catches. He's very good at coming in on the ball. He is very fearless. He'll slide and he will give up his body to make an out. So James Outman, just a wonderful outfielder, both going back on the ball and coming in. So let's move to another tool, his speed. James Outman is one of the best athletes in the entire system. And, you know, he didn't steal a whole lot of bases last year, 13 to be in total. So stealing bases isn't necessarily his game, although he does have enough speed, but getting jumps and reading pitchers, that's not necessarily the best thing that he does. Although he does have good speed, his speed was graded out at 55, which is above average. So he has good speed. You saw it there defensively. But I think as he goes on, we saw the 31 home runs he hit. I think definitely he could put together multiple seasons where he's a 2020 guy. So again, 55 grade speed. So good speed for James Outman, certainly above average. When you combine that with his instincts and, you know, his fearlessness, the way that he plays outfield and the way that he gives up his body to get outs, I think definitely that all mixes together to make him a plus outfielder. The thing about him, he's been taught so well. Reggie Christensen at Sac State, where James Outman played, and again, James is from Northern California, and he went to Sac State, played for Reggie Christensen. Reggie is such a stickler for defense. Watch the footwork in this next video from James Outman. It is just so good. And what that footwork does is it puts him in great position to not only be able to get off a very balanced throw, which makes it stronger, it also makes it very accurate. So let's check out this video. James Outman coming in on the baseball. Look at that footwork. Gets him in perfect position to throw it to home plate to Carson Taylor, the catcher there. Here's another one. That was from left field, so let's see it from right field. Look at the footwork. Perfect position to throw. Throws it home this time to Hunter Fiducia. Actually, I think that's Tony Walters that he threw it to. And then here's another one. You saw him off of a ground ball. Here's another one off of a fly ball. This actually was a double play to end the game back when he was still with AA Tulsa. So James Outman, you saw him in left field come in on a ball. You saw him in right field come in on a ball. The perfect footwork. He got himself balanced, ready to throw. The good, strong, accurate arm. His arm is definitely above average. It is a plus tool for him. Then you also saw him position himself after catching a fly ball and transitioning into the throwing motion as well. Outman hit 31 home runs in 2022, which, again, he didn't have enough at-bats to qualify, but if he did, that would have been the third most in the entire PCL. He also hit 31 doubles, which would have been seventh most in the PCL, but again, he did not have enough at-bats to qualify. So the power department for James Outman, that's honestly probably the best thing he does offensively. He has the ability, he has the ability, of course, he hit 31 this year. He could hit 40 home runs plus in a season if he got hot. We saw that he hit the home run in his first at-bat at the major league level. So the power department for James Outman, there is no outage there. James Outman has a lot of power. 31 home runs, 31 doubles. He also hit 2 cycles this year and 2 grand slams. So he also has the it factor. His power is absolutely off the chart. He is also very, very explosive. And, like I said earlier, he hit for 2 cycles, and both cycles were within a week of each other. And he also hit 2 grand slams. So when you combine that with the fact that he had 106 RBIs, he also hit almost 300. His OPS was approaching 1,000. Like I said earlier, James Outman might have been the best minor league baseball player in all the minor leagues. He was certainly one of the best offensive players. He's always one of the best defensive players. And if you go to all my social medias, you can see the 2 cycles that he hit. So his offensive game is one that is very explosive. Last year he combined the average with the OPS, with the home runs, with the RBIs, and he's done all of that in 2022. And we also saw that he's not afraid of the moment. You saw him go back up against the wall and make great catches, but you also saw him come up to Los Angeles and hit a home run. And his first at bat, he hit over 400 in his 4 games with Los Angeles. So the moment's never too big for him. So the thing about James Outman is that he has great power potential, and he's shown it in the minor leagues. Not just potential, he's actually done it. He had the good average at almost 300. So what are some things that James Outman might need to work on? Of course, the first thing that everybody that's followed him much is going to say his strikeout rate, but in 2022, his strikeout rate was all the way down to 25%, which is the lowest of his career since his first year in professional baseball in 2018. So he has lowered his strikeout rate, and I'm telling you, if you can have a strikeout rate of 25% and a guy that's hitting in the mid-30s in home runs with an OPS around 900 with over 100 RBIs and an average that's right around 300, you're talking about a perennial all-star. That is something the Dodgers would absolutely take with every one of their players. So 25% strikeout rate again for James Outman, lowest of his career since his first year in 2018. And if he can duplicate anything close to that at the major league level, you're talking about a perennial all-star. That is perennial all-star type of output for James Outman. Of course, we all know that it's very difficult to duplicate what you did in AAA at the major league level. So if you can get anything close to that, keep the strikeout rate around 25%, keep the home runs at the 30 range or above, keep the OPS above 800, and then keep the average anywhere from 250, 275, maybe 280. In that range, you're talking about a really, really good baseball player offensively. Then when you combine his defense, you're talking about a top shelf outfielder. So let's finish this thing up, our conversation about James Outman. One of the things that was very interesting about him last year, he played the 4 games, he hit the home run in his first at bat, he hit over 400, and then the front office had to know that it was certainly a very real possibility that they were not going to bring Cody Bellinger back in 2023. So, and also the Dodgers had a huge lead in the division, right? So it was just kind of odd that James Outman never got brought back up and given more experience, especially seeing that he might be taking the reins for good in 2023. Now, one way you could look at that is he had a great experience at the major league level. He was not needed on last year's team. Well, you say that, but the Dodgers played musical chairs in center field, but they did have Trace Thompson, and Trace Thompson played well, so you didn't need the defense of James Outman. So, one way to look at that, being a prospect, you end him on a high note, you send him into 2023 feeling great about where his game's at. He has a lot of momentum, versus if you bring him back and he struggles, then he doesn't have quite the momentum going into the offseason, quite the amount of confidence, as far as how he can produce at the major league level. That's one way to look at it. But again, I'm going to say, if I've learned one thing about the Dodgers, it's that their front office always has a plan and that they are very dedicated to sticking to it. So that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, just a reminder, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily, and share this video so we can keep growing and keep providing you content like this in the future. Also, I'd appreciate it if you went on over to dodgersdaily.net. Check out some of the stories there. Again, on dodgersdaily.net, that's where I have all of my player features. All the Dodgers Daily features are there as well. The articles, all you got to do is click on them, and they're all right there. So again, dodgersdaily.net. Also visit Dodgers Daily on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, and then become a subscriber to the Dodgers Daily podcast on the podcast streaming service of your choice. As always, thanks for tuning in, and go Dodgers.